What's going on, guys? I was watching Armory channel just a little while ago, and I saw his video he did on home defense, and I just want to do a little video response to that. You know, it's a great thing to talk about. You know, I'm glad he brought it up. You know, there's been a lot of things going around lately. You know, and I believe there's going to be a lot more things happening. You know, times are people are getting desperate. Times are getting a little harder. You know, a lot of people out there with drug problems. You know, some people just can't find work. I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now, and you got to be able to defend yourself. You got to be able to defend your family and all that. And there's a lot of tips and all that out there on home defense. And I just wanted to kind of give an idea of what I do in my home. I pretty much have a form of firearm located all around the house. You know, no matter what room we're in or what area we're going to be in, there is something nearby. You know, easy to access if needed, but out of sight. You know, so if somebody were to break in, it's going to be kind of rare if they find it. It's going to be kind of hard to believe if they actually do find it. But the place I live in, it's not really a big place. So I know a lot of you guys. Some of you have real big fancy homes, and it might be a little bit more difficult for you. But the home I live in is not too large. So I take it upon myself each night to make sure everything's locked up. I got a few locks on the doors, and windows are shut. Blinds are shut, and I make sure to let everyone know what lights are going to remain on. That's one thing I've always been a strong believer in. That's a thing Pete brought up, is a dark home is a target home. And it really is. I have a family member who's in prison right now, and that's what he was doing. He was robbing homes for his drug habit, and those are the houses he would target were homes that were dark. And they figure the people that have the lights off, they're not too safe, not too ready for anything. In a well lit home, a lot of the time that's the thing you're worried about is not what you'd be worried about, but what a criminal will be worried about is being seen. If there's a lot of light out there, there's a good chance someone's going to be able to describe them. Just things like that. And and then he also brought up alarm systems, and I agree with him. An alarm system, it's not going to get. I mean, it's going to deter the criminal, but it's going to leave him the opportunity to leave the area before the police come. It's not a second boom, the alarm's off, police are there, everything's they're ready to lock them up. It doesn't work that way. The alarm goes off, then depending on what kind of system you have, they call you or you there's too much of a window of opportunity for that person to leave. And then that leaves someone else in danger, because that person's going to go try another home, and he might be successful there. So they're good in a sense, but they're not great for catching people. It's just a deterrence. And the other thing I don't like about an alarm system is, in order for that alarm system to go off, they had to have broken into your home already. They would have went through a window or a door, which means if that person is desperate enough, they might come in and grab or shoot or harm anyone within seconds. It doesn't take very long for something to go wrong. If they've broken in your door, they enter your home, they might see something valuable right there. You're coming out trying to see what's going on, and they take a shot at you, and they run. It leaves a lot of time. It really does. And that's something I always was concerned with an alarm system. Now, dogs and animals are great, because a lot of the time they're going to sense the threat before they're even in the area, before they're even in your house. They're going to know, they're going to smell them, they're going to hear them. So that's always a great thing. The one issue that I have to really press is training. You got to train your family on what to do, and the only way to really do that is to run drills with them. I mean, it might seem a little excessive to some, but if your wife and your kids are at home, and they know where the firearms are, but they don't know how to use them, and that's always a thing you got to worry about. They might not know how to use them. They might tell you they do, but they, when shit does hit the fan, they might not know. You know, I talked about this topic a little bit earlier in another video, but that's one thing we really gotta stress. I gotta stress the most is training your family. You know, train them, let them practice. You know, take them shooting. You really gotta do that, because 9 times out of 10, when someone is gonna rob your home, or they're gonna break into your home, they've been watching you for a while. And you know, a lot of the time, you know, when you go to work, or you know, depending on what hours you work, they've been watching you. They've been watching your home. You know, some criminals, they just pick a random house, but a lot of the time that's not the fact. They actually will sit there, stake out your house, and watch your patterns. You know, find out when you go to work, when your wife goes to work, who's home alone. You know, how long you're gone, what times of the day, what you do on. You know, they do that, and you know, if they are going to rob you, I guarantee they're going to try to do it at the time when there's the least amount of threat. You know, that could be when you're gone. And then what if your family's there, and they don't know how to use the firearms you've left them? You know, they don't know any of that. You know, they're too skittish. You got to really stress on your family to be prepared and to be ready. You know, it's just my 2 cents on the topic. But you know, key things for your security. Change up your routine. You know, that's one thing, and that's something that I do in my security job. Is you got to change up your routine. You can't keep the same patterns every single day. Because if someone is watching your home, that's what they're looking for, the patterns. So you got to break it up, you know, do things differently, change your times on when you do things in your house, you know, leave different areas of lights on, you know, just always make it seem like you're there even when you're not. You know, there's timers you can get for your house that will turn your lights on for you. You know, you guys can look into that. You know, if you leave your lights on for a few hours, you know, eventually they're going to figure out you're just leaving your lights on. But if someone sees lights going on and off, they're going to think someone's home. You know, that might be something to think about. Training with the calibers you have. You know, that's one thing I always say. You know, you could have a 45 ACP like you see in front of you, a 12 gauge like you see in front of you, and you might be comfortable with it, but the wife might not be. So, you know, you might want to, you know, train with a 380, with a 9, you know, with the 38 special. Anything is better than nothing. You know, I don't even want to get shot with a 22. No one wants to get shot with anything. So just train with whatever you have. And another thing to stress is make an area in your home where you can hide. You know, if somebody were to break in, I always say this, if there's a threat, you don't want to sit there and have a gunfight. You don't want to sit there and have a battle. You want to have an area of your house where you're safe, where you can secure your family and secure yourself until proper authorities get there. You know, a lot of the time that's what happens is the guy tries to be a hero and he ends up getting hurt. You know, and that's unfortunate. You know, I know we all want to save our families, but you got to remember, you might save them for that moment, but if you don't survive, who's going to be there for them afterwards? You know, this is just things to think about, guys, and I just wanted to put my 2 cents in it. You know, if you guys got anything else, I'd love to hear it. You know, I'm always looking for more suggestions, and you know, we got to stick together with this, guys. You know, we all love our firearms, and we all love this hobby, and we got to stick together and help each other. You know, and enough of the bickering. You know, enough of the fighting and shit. We gotta be a unit. We gotta be together in this. You know, we might be threatened with our gun rights, and all the petty shit needs to be put aside. You know, we got to unite. You know, and this is just stuff I think, guys. So let me know what you think. You know, get back to me. And just on the side note, Pete, if you're watching, you got a great channel, man. My wife doesn't even like gun channels, but she's subscribed to you, so you must be doing something right, buddy. All right, guys, you guys have a good one.